Haha, there it is. There it is. Check out that beautiful skyline, man. Check it out. My home. My fucking home right there. Today, we are here to talk about the uncompromising, ultra-violent, and almost ahead of its time, 1987 fucking classic RoboCop. Filmed entirely in Detroit, directed by Paul Verhoeven, starring Peter Weller, Nancy Allen, and Dan O'Herlihy. It's a very violent, near-apocalyptic future Detroit where the cops just cannot control the chaos and violence that is ensuing. So, one of their best officers steps up with his partner and gets wasted and, like, annihilated by a gang of thugs. And that's one of the most exploitative parts of the film. That's what made this film stand out really back in the day, was when this scene where they're fucking blowing him away. It's just like, it's just all out, man, and everything is right there on screen. No compromise, nothing hidden. It's probably one of the earliest films in that vein that I can think of, because nowadays when you see a lot of films, you see everything's just right there on screen. They don't even want to keep anything a mystery anymore to you. Well, back then, when this film came out and that scene came on, that was the perfect example of what is just overflowing in film today. So there's an evil corporation, Omni Consumer Products, who wins a contract with the city government to privatize the police department. Oh boy, that's kind of like where we may be heading today. To test their crime eradicating robot, and when they open that thing up, man, they pull it out at a boardroom meeting, and they're showing them a demonstration of this futuristic crime-fighting robot that fucking just wastes everybody. This thing as a way to stop crime. But when Officer Murphy gets wasted, they bring his body in and they erase his memory, or so they thought, and they infuse his body with an untested prototype to turn him into RoboCop, and thereby infusing him with flesh and tech merged cyborg. This is also sort of telegraphing in a way, because it's telling you, like, what is something that is on topic today in the current world is transhumanism, right? Putting chips in people and all that kind of shit. So combining your body permanently and perfectly with the cybernetics to keep you alive and keep it going. And so in the process, they decided to erase his mind so that he would just be the perfect working machine, easily dictated and told what to do. But there was a flaw in the design, and so his memory starts to slowly come back to him. He starts to remember what happens to him. His partner at one point in the film actually runs into him as RoboCop and recognizes him and calls him by name, and that is what triggers this recollection of his past and his history. And then he comes to find what the police force actually did to him. And at that point, he basically goes vigilante, he goes rogue, he turns on them. He goes back, he tries to see his old family again, his wife, his son. He wants to try to get his life back that they took from him. But that's the irony of it too, because that life was already taken from him. There was no chance he was getting that back after he was all shot up the way he was. So, in a way, the evil, fucking vile corporation kind of did the best thing they could for him to save his life. If they would have left his memory intact and maybe explained everything to him about what had happened and how they did save his life, who knows? Could have been a different turnout. He might have learned to accept it, live with it, But in the end, I can't say all's well, because he still has to live as RoboCop. But he does get his memory back. He comes back to the force as a real cop again to enforce the law in an upright and just way as RoboCop. He's accepted his fate, and all's well in that sense, and hopefully they're eradicating some of the overabundant crime still occurring in the city of Detroit. And you may or may not be aware, but some of this was filmed at the wastewater treatment plant downriver just outside of Detroit. And it is one of the most horrendous smelling places ever. They took us on a field trip there when we were in 5th grade. It was entirely fucked up to take a group of 5th graders to this place. One of the best scenes of the film. One of the guys who shot up, Murphy, gets this toxic waste dumped on him and he fucking mutates. There's a chase scene going on through the wastewater treatment plant, which in the film they use as a toxic waste plant. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of fitting. Maybe there's some correlation there. Fluoride in the water and everything, which is toxic waste. But anyway, so the guy gets all mutated. And he's like, help me. And like there's a chase scene going on, and they fucking run, they drive right through him and splatter him all the fuck up and all over the windshield and shit, and it's the fucking best. So with that said, I thank you all for being here. Tell all your friends and family about it. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It's a small click for you. It's free to do, and it's as simple as doing this on your phone screen. So do it. Tell Paul, tell Peter, tell Nancy, tell Dan, tell all the synthetic humanoid cyborg entities that you know, and all the friends that you have with cybernetic, prosthetic, hybrid pieces of flesh and metal all at one in their body, right? So, thank you again for being here, and until next time, peace.